Cingari here with Justin Zimerman, who joins me all the way from Oregon today. Justin is an award-winning filmmaker and professor. His company, Burger Down Productions, is the recipient of numerous awards, including 2 Telly Awards for his film, The Calling, which aired nationally on public television. Today, though, Justin is here to discuss his newest documentary called Smart. Justin, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Great to have you here. So tell us what Smart is all about.
So SMART is about a specialized mobile animal rescue team, a group of animal control officers in Los Angeles who literally are out there risking their life and limb to save animals on a regular basis. They're one of 2 teams in the world that are working at the level that they're working at, and they can be seen doing everything from grabbing a mountain lion from underneath the house to airlifting a horse, but they're also out there rescuing squirrels, cats, and dogs on a regular basis in some pretty amazing situations.
What kind of a training do they need to do this job then? Because you just mentioned there are only 2 teams in the world like this. Or maybe you said 2 teams in the U.S., I should say.
No, in the world. And I think that one of the amazing things about the SMART team is that they're figuring this stuff out as they go. Mm-hmm. So one of the things the film gets into is how something like this is even remotely possible in this day and age, and how we can kind of support and hopefully embody their work and their mission. They are a remarkable group of people, and the film centers on a couple of the folks in particular, Armando Navarrete and Annette Ramirez, who will be with us at the Artemis Film Festival. And I guess the question is how could something like this exist, and how can we support something of this kind of magnitude? So
Justin, you've done so many films. What was the inspiration for this particular documentary?
It's kind of interesting. My cousin, Kim Zimmerman, who had worked on one previous project before, got a crow stuck in her chimney in Los Angeles. So she called me up and she said this really interesting gentleman came out and rescued this crow, and it seems like they'd have a really amazing potential in terms of a film with something we both support, animals and particularly companion animals.
Right.
And this might be a really neat group in which to explore. So we reached out to them, and 3.5 years later we have our feature length.
Wow. What were some of the challenges you faced while filming?
So what's interesting about Smart, I made a short Stephen King piece. It's about 5.5 minutes long, and 150 some people worked on it. Smart, literally 3 people made it. And it's an amazing world in which we live in where that's even possible. So Kim Zim, the executive producer, me directing and doing some shooting, and then my right-hand man, Tori Maurer, who did a bunch of the shooting and then edited the stuff. We worked hand in hand over 3 years to capture the film. Now, we all had real jobs. Tori's in Denver, Kim's in Los Angeles, and I'm in Portland, Oregon. So we'd fly in, shoot, do interviews, and fly out and then work on this stuff. But we also got them GoPro cameras. And they had a lot of originating footage, but we made sure that they had equipment that would work well with ours. And so they were out in the field rescuing and working on stuff as we were back in our respective cities. And from there, we kind of compiled this huge wealth of material and structured in such a way that would make sense for the film.
Now, this film is not only about animal rescue and this SMART team, it's also about a love story, right?
I think Smart's really compelling because it's about the people as much as it is about the animals. What they're risking, what they sacrifice, what they do out there in the field, and what they sacrifice at home. But one of the great things that we found out through the course of the film is that there's a very strong partnership, not only between the team members as a family, but also between these 2 central characters, Armando Navarrete and Annette Ramirez. And their relationship, their partnership in terms of their family and their love and their commitment to the animals is something that I think is pretty fascinating as the film unfolds.
Any close calls during the filming? Because some of the rescues look rather dangerous. They're climbing really high, almost like they're repairing telephone poles, but it looks like even higher in some of the video we have.
There is some dramatic and amazing. There are dramatic and amazing situations in the film, from kind of gargantuan falls to airlifting a horse to seeing the wealth of animals in the Wild West of Los Angeles, from a crocodile to a deer in the back of Pee-Wee Herman's yard to whatever. So there are a number of pretty intense situations throughout the course of the film. What's amazing, of course, is that the SMART team members are so equipped and so trained that they're ready for any situation, as scary as it might be. Mm-hmm. But there are absolutely close calls in any form of rescuing. Mm-hmm. There are absolutely first-person close calls in the film as well.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't sound like they spend too much time sleeping on this job.
No, it's pretty incredible. And, the thing that I should definitely stress is that they're animal control officers at Los Angeles. And the LA Animal Services are out there on the front line dealing with this wealth of animals on a regular basis. But these folks are doing this outside of their normal jobs. So in many cases, they are, literally not sleeping. Because when they're done with their day job, they might get a rescue call. And they're not going to let a cat stay up in a tree or dog stay in a basement. So they are sacrificing and working dramatically hard. And the film certainly gets into that and on a regular basis.
Wow, so many rescues in such a busy city such as LA. Do the SMART team members ever find that they have to adopt the animals that they're rescuing?
Well, what's great about the SMART team is that they use social media. Every single animal that they rescue gets a home. It could be through Instagram or Twitter or their Facebook account or just direct action. They make sure cat, dog, anything that is without a home gets a home.
Amazing. So what do you hope your viewers will come away with after they see this documentary?
So I'm one of those individuals who really dislikes documentaries which basically say something is bad and that's it. It's very important to me to empower or give an audience agency. And what I think is fantastic about the SMART film, and all the credit for this goes to the SMART team members and to my editor, Tori Maurer. But what I hope is that people feel like they know what to do when the film is done. Not only can they support the SMART team, not only can they create or see what's going on in their own communities in terms of animal rescue, but they too can become animal rescuers.
Wow.
There's plenty of things for them to do out there in the world. We live in a society which unfortunately has way too many dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Things that everybody can do in their own homes or in their own communities to help that out and on a regular basis. So to me, the SMART film is not only about the animal rescuers on the SMART team, but it's about creating an audience of animal rescuers too.
I went to your Facebook page last night, and this film has already won several awards. Let's talk about that.
So we're very excited. We had a couple friends and family showings that were sponsored by some incredible colleges, University of Colorado Boulder and Lewis and Clark, which I think is one of the only 2 animal law programs in the country. So we were able to see the film with a crowd and to see how it resonated with folks. But we had our first film festival officially 2 weeks ago, and it was the Animal Film Festival, and not only did we win the Best Feature, but also the Audience Award. We are screening across the country in a variety of partner screenings for charity and also at film festivals, and we hope to have many, many more.
So, Justin, you have 11 award-winning films already in your repertoire. How did you get involved in filmmaking?
I've just always been interested in telling stories. I work in narrative filmmaking, I write comics, and socially-oriented documentary has always been extremely important to me. I've been a professor in 4 schools. I've been a caseworker for through Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Department of Justice, Department of Education. To me, just being involved out in the world and telling interesting stories, that's what gets me up in the morning. So it could be a short Stephen King piece, it could be a 240-page graphic novel, or it could be a feature-length documentary about some animal rescuers. As long as there's an interesting story, interesting characters, and something to be said, I want to be a part of it. And I feel very fortunate in this day and age I can be.
Yeah. I applaud you because I think specifically for your film, it brings awareness to not only strong women characters and the SMART team, but it also is going to foster probably a great opportunity for people to see that they should be adopting more animals. And so you kind of have like 2 different audiences. You've got the animal audience, but then you've got the regular sort of independent film festival audience. So good for you. I know our viewers are going to enjoy when they get a chance to see the film. Anything else you want to add today before we go, Justin?
No, I think that's an astounding point, and I think it's important too. We wanted to create a film that was honest and truthful and really embodied the struggles that the folks are going through on a regular basis. But we also wanted to make something that was exciting and visually appealing and that would feel like a ride from beginning to end. 75 minutes, wow. There are 0 fades, there's no dissolves. It starts, goes, and then boom, you're like, oh my God, what just happened? So we wanted to make something that appealed to what I would consider just average viewers, citizens, and that when it was done, they would say, okay, I want to go out and I want to go do something. So I think that's a fantastic point, and I'm very excited that not only do people who genuinely love and spend their lives helping animals out are remarkably responsive to the film, but also everyday viewers are saying, wow, that was one amazing ride. What's next?
All right, before we go today, I want to tell my viewers, if you're in the LA area, you can see Smart Sunday, April 24th. This film is all part of the Artemis Women in Action Film Festival, which goes down April 22nd to April 24th in the Los Angeles area. If you want to buy tickets to the Artemis Film Festival, you can do so by going to this link. In addition, if you want to find out more about this amazing documentary, you can go to the production company's website, www.brickerdown.com. And I'd like to encourage all my fans and the people who are watching this interview to follow Smart on the Facebook page. And here's that address, facebook.com/smartdocumentary. Justin Zimerman, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I wish you good luck with your film, and I look forward to speaking with you again when you have another film or documentary out.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.